You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you've chosen to listen to the Central Indiana Sports Report, we greatly appreciate it. Today is November 17th, 2024. It's a Sunday, so that means it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm today's host, Susie Mengelt, and I love Central Indiana sports. Sorry, Sunday's girls' scoreboard is so late today. Greg and I went to Terre Haute on Saturday to watch our nephew kick the Sycamores' butts, and Greg needed a day off, so you get me today.
Yay.
Most of our basketball scores will be live on the weekends going forward. However, this weekend will probably be the last one that isn't. Tuesday nights may be live as well, assuming Greg gets a co-host on Tuesday evenings. We will have girls basketball scoreboard every day this week except Monday. On Monday, actually probably Tuesday this week because Greg is a little behind, we will have our girls basketball week in review with scores, stats, and highlights, our first power poll, our players, team, win, and coach of the week, and Michelle Garman and Greg will hear from several local head coaches about their week. We'll also start to do some boys basketball previews beginning this week, but our football coverage isn't done until the season is done. Michelle and Greg will have a week in review on Tuesday, and we'll preview all 12 semi-state games coming up this weekend. For now, here's Saturday's, then Friday's girls basketball results. Muncie Central won on back-to-back nights with a 51-38 home win over Frankton on Saturday. The Bearcats outscored Frankton 31-19 in the second half after leading 20-19 at the break. The Bearcats and Eagles are both 2-2. Central will try to make it 3 straight on Thursday at former conference rival Newcastle. The Trojans are 1-3 after getting their first win of the season Friday at Union County. Frankton host rival Lapel on Friday. The Eagles have dominated the series through the years, but the Bulldogs beat Frankton 50-44 in Lapel last season. Lapel is 1-3 after Saturday's 54-31 home loss to North Central. North Central broke a 2-2 tie with a 16-0 run and led the rest of the way. Lapel was able to cut the deficit to 26-19 in the second quarter, according to Herald Bulletin's Richard Torres. But North Central went on a 13-2 third quarter run to put the game away. Lapel Jr. Lanaya Wills had a game-high 17 points and went 8 for 10 from the foul line, with 12 rebounds and 2 steals. Junior Sophie Goodwin contributed 8 points, 3 assists, and 2 steals, and senior Taylor Morose added 4 points and 2 assists for the Bulldogs, who go to Hamilton Heights on Tuesday before Friday's rivalry game against Frankton. Both games are away from Lapel. It was the first win of the season for the Panthers after starting 0-2. They were led by junior center Raven Walls, who had 10 points. Madison Grant took a 35-18 loss to Cowan on Saturday on the heels of their first win of the season over Westdale on Wednesday. Freshman Grace Wood led the 1-2 Argyles with 8 points. Senior point guard Jasmine Rainey added 4 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Sophomore Olivia Dunham added 3 points and 6 rebounds in the loss. Madison Grant head coach Jace Martin was proud of his team's efforts in spite of a tough shooting night.
Cowan was a really well-coached team and played a pretty impressive zone against us that forced us to take a lot of outside shots that we did not hit. We shot really poorly tonight. Those nights will happen. But the girls, we were really impressed by them. They played hard the whole time. They didn't give up. Cowan shot pretty well. I think they shot better than they normally would have. They shot 35% from the three-point line. So that kind of hurt us. But, man, our girls played really hard, and they fought through some adversity. But you'll have nights where you don't shoot very well like that, and that happens.
It was the first win for Cowan after an 0-4 start. Both teams play again on Tuesday. The Argyles take a short trip to Marion to play the 1-3 Giants, while Cowan goes to Randolph Southern, which improved to 4-0 with a 75-10 win at Westdale on Friday. Tipton dropped its 4th straight game Saturday, 56-27 at home against unbeaten Winchester. The Blue Devils started with a win over Eastern but has played a tough stretch since. That continues Tuesday at home against 1-2 Northwestern, which beat Tipton 63-29 last year. Mackenzie Franella scored 9 points to lead Tipton, and Berkeley Young led the Devils with 4 assists, and Holland Wilson had a team-best 10 rebounds. Winchester is 3-0 and has beaten South Adams, Knightstown, and Tipton by a comprised 82 points. The Golden Falcons host 1-1 Yorktown on a busy Tuesday. Tri-Central and Cass played a competitive game for 3 quarters Saturday at Walton. The host Kings outscored the Trojans 17-6 in the fourth quarter to improve to 3-0 with a 43-24 victory. Cass is 3-0 for the second straight season after starting last year with 5 straight wins and going 22-4 and winning sectional and regional championships. Lainey Davis led the Kings with 15 points. She also had 8 of their 18 steals. Junior Ava Hubner added 8 points, 4 steals, and 3 rebounds. Tri-Central is now 1-2 and goes to Taylor on Friday to face the 0-3 Titans in their first Hoosier Heartland contest of the season. Haley Schwiedemann had a career-high 27 points and 5 assists at Jay County, handed Hamilton Heights its 4th straight loss to start the season, 57-38 in Portland. Schwiedemann also scored 27 points in the Patriots' win over Southside in Tuesday's season opener. Heights are 0-4 after going 24-3 last year. The Huskies look for their first win Tuesday when they host 1-3 Lapel. Both programs won regional championships last year, and Hamilton Heights beat the Bulldogs 53-42 in Lapel on December 19th of last year. Speaking of struggling following an epic season, reigning co-CIC champion Blackford fell to 1-3 on Saturday with a 36-27 home loss to South Adams. The Bruins host winless Adams Central on Wednesday. Finally, a game that's not on Tuesday. It was the first win for South Adams, which opened the season with losses to Eastbrook and Winchester. The other co-CIC champion last year, Eastbrook, is also trying to bounce back from key losses to graduation. The Panthers are 1-2 following Saturday's 34-19 home loss to Southern Wells. The Panthers started the season with a 61-45 win at South Adams, but scored just 19 points in back-to-back losses to 2-1 Heritage Christian and 5-1 Southern Wells. Eastbrook shot just 19% from the field and made just 2 of 18 three-point attempts in the loss. The Panthers also turned the ball over 22 times. Senior Michaela Fox led Eastbrook with 5 points. Seniors A.J. Brenner and Mia Bustos scored 4 each. Bustos also had 9 rebounds and 3 steals. Both led Eastbrook. Eastbrook head coach Alicia Griffin said the Panthers had some correctable problems in the loss.
Last night was a struggle for us offensively. We are still plagued with, taking care of the ball, making good decisions with our passes, and then trusting each other as a team. We let some emotions get in the way of executing on both ends of the floor, and that led to our loss last night against Southern Wells. We shot very poorly from the line, or from the three-point line, and from the field, which also didn't help the situation. Southern Wells is a great team. They move the ball quickly and efficiently. They got inside-outside game all night. So we're going to continue to learn and grow from each game and each time we step out on the floor. And next week, on Tuesday, we take Northfield, who have already previously beat Southern Wells. So we have our work cut out for us on Tuesday. So hopefully we can quickly regroup, learn from some things, and get better.
The Panthers look to rebound Tuesday at Northfield. The Norse are 1-3 after Friday's 38-28 loss at Oak Hill, but they did beat Southern Wells 54-50 for their only victory. Wabash escaped Marion with a 68-61 win despite 34 points from Marion freshman Naomi Hahn and 14 from her classmate J. Lee Townsend. Senior Caitlin Honeycutt countered with 27 points of her own for 3-1 Wabash. Senior Anna Doty added 15 and senior Brooklyn Buzzard had 14. Buzzard also had 7 rebounds and 4 assists, and Doty contributed 7 steals and 6 boards. Marion is now 1-3 with back-to-back tough losses. They host 1-2 Madison Grant on Tuesday. Senior Casey Warfel scored 22 points and sophomore Ada Hupfer scored 17 to lead Pendleton Heights to a 56-38 victory at Heritage Christian on Saturday. It was the first loss for the 2A number 16 Eagles. Warfel went 9 for 16 from the field, 3 of 5 from behind the three-point line, and had 3 rebounds, 4 steals, and 2 assists. Hupfer had 16 rebounds to go with her 17 points. She was 8 for 13 from the field and made her only 3-point shot. Also for the Arabians, junior Mamie Trout had 7 points and 6 rebounds. Pendleton is 3-1 heading into Wednesday's home game against the state's top-ranked team, Lawrence Central. The Bears are 3-0 and have blown out Carmel, Westfield, and Princeton, Ohio. Senior wing Carly Bennett had 20 points and 7 assists, and senior point guard Grace Bourdonnais also scored 20 in Lafayette Central Catholic's 61-27 home win over Western. The 2-0 Knights led 20-3 at the end of the first quarter. The Panthers are now 1-2 and go to Tippecanoe Valley on Wednesday to face the 2-2 Vikings. Monroe Central handed Burris its 4th straight loss to begin the season. The Golden Bears are 3-0 after outscoring the Owls 18-4 in the first quarter and 22-4 in the second, in the 61-21 win. Burris goes to 0-1 Cambridge City on Tuesday. The Golden Eagles opened Monday with a 39-33 loss at Anderson Prep. Wapahani began its 2024-25 season with a 53-28 win over Union in Selma. Center Kimber Abshir had 19 points and 13 rebounds to start her senior season. Senior Judy Dargo added 11 points, and junior Emily Luce had 10 points and 5 rebounds in the win. It gets a little tougher for the Raiders this week when they go to Delta to face the 3-1 Eagles, then go to Daleville to face the 3-2 Broncos. The 1-3 Rockets were led by 9 points from sophomore Kenzie Ogden. She also had 4 steals. Senior Gloria Ellis finished with 8 points and 10 rebounds in the loss. Taylor at Eastern was postponed for the second time. A makeup date will be announced soon, according to Eastern's Twitter account. The Central Indiana Sports Report Girls Basketball Player of the Day for Saturday is Pendleton Heights sophomore Ada Hupfer, who had 17 points and 16 rebounds as the Arabians knocked off Heritage Christian 56-38. Hupfer was 8 for 13 from the field and made her only 3-point attempt. Congratulations, Ada. Now let's look at Friday's games. Oak Hill improved to 3-0 on the season with a 38-28 home win over Northfield on Friday. Senior Liz Godfrey had her 3rd straight game in double figures with 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Sophomore Erica Newhouse had 8 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. And senior Alexa Meyer contributed 3 points on a 1 of 2 from behind the 3-point arc, 7 rebounds, and a pair of steals. Junior Lydia Trexler scored 7 points, and sophomore Landry Hardman finished with 6 for the bounced Eagles, who have a week off before playing Friday and Saturday against 1-2 Madison Grant and 3-2 Norwell. Oak Hill went 2-0 against Grant County and conference rival Madison Grant last year. Northfield is now 1-3 and has lost 3 straight. The Norse were led by senior Ellie Baker's 11 points. Sheridan started its successful weekend with a 44-24 Hoosier Heartland win over Carroll. Carroll was one of only 6 teams to beat the Blackhawks last year. Kenzie Garter had 14 points, and the Timmy sisters, Cecilia and Sadie, combined for 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Nova Cross had 5 points and 4 rebounds, and senior Shelby Eaton contributed 6 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals. It was the first loss for the Cougars, who were led by senior Tegan Converis, who had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 steals. The night before getting its first win of the season, Cowan took a 90-27 home defeat to Delta. Delta senior Griffin Knight had 29 points at the Eagles, improved to 3-1 with the win. Delta finished out in the streak of 4 straight road games with its conference opener at Newcastle on Tuesday. Senior Madison Norris had 8 points and 2 rebounds for the Blackhawks. Muncie Central started its weekend sweep with a 62-58 win over Marion in its North Central Conference opener Friday. Senior Shania Scott scored 19 points in the loss for Marion. Freshman Jaylee Townsend had 16, and freshman Naomi Hines, who had 34 in Saturday's loss to Wabash, scored 7 in this defeat. Marion is 1-3 after going 0-2 for the weekend. Anderson lost in a heartbreaker Saturday at home against Richmond. The Indians lost 55-53 and are 0-3 overall despite 28 points from senior Kennedy Brown. Brown was 6 for 10 from the field, 3 for 6 from behind the three-point arc, and went 13 for 17 from the foul line. Sophomore Aria Scott scored 10 points and had 8 rebounds and 2 steals in the loss. Richmond improved to 2-1 with the win before losing at home 46-33 to Mount Vernon on Saturday. Daleville improved to 3-2 with a 48-31 win at Centerville on Friday. The Broncos have won 3 of their last 4 and go to Knightstown on Tuesday to face the 1-2 Panthers. As I mentioned earlier, Westdale fell to 0-4 with a 75-10 home loss to Randolph Southern. Junior Kayla Harold scored 4 points, and freshman Tori Ward and sophomore Bella Kehoe scored 2 points each for the Warriors. Harold also had 3 steals in the defeat. Westdale is at unbeaten Monroe Central on Tuesday. The Central Indiana Sports Report Player of the Night for Friday is Delta senior Griffin Knight, scoring 29 points in the Eagles' 90-27 win over Cowan. Congratulations, Griffin. And now you know everything we know about girls basketball from this weekend. Thank you for listening. I hope I wasn't too much of a disappointment for you after expecting Greg, but he will be back with the next podcast. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and follow on any platform that you listen to, and also tell a friend. We greatly appreciate your listening, and we hope that you continue to do so. Thank you also to Coach Griffin and Coach Martin for participating in the podcast. And reminder to all coaches out there that you can always call and leave a message if you don't talk to us, and just give us a little soundbite on your games. We greatly appreciate that, and I know our listeners do too.
Yay, we won.
The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Greg.